Hello, welcome back. This is Kenshin1913 along with
Ghostyfilms.
And we're Let's Playing Doom 2.
Yeah, and I almost got mutilated, but thanks to my cat-like reflexes, I survived.
I don't know, Dan. I think they're more like goose-like reflexes.
Yeah,
like goose.
But geese are clumsy and awkward, right?
Listen, Dan, geese are some of the goddamn best. No, I'm sorry, ducks.
Are you telling me that I have duck-like reflexes?
Yeah, Dan.
Pete, I feel a little hurt. Hurt inside.
Ducks are the best friggin' guards in the world, alright?
Really?
We used to own some ducks, alright? And these ducks were better guard dogs than actual dogs.
Really?
Yeah, man. They used to bite and wouldn't let go. You know what I'm saying, Dan?
Yeah, that's a vicious freaking duck.
Yeah, and they were loyal as hell and very protective.
Nice.
And they were awesome. They were good ducks. And my mom owned them, and we had them for a long time. But then we had to give them away because we, I don't remember why. I think because they were getting older, and we brought them to a place that kept them safe and didn't, like, murder them. And we used to go visit them every once in a while.
Brian had a duck named Ralph.
Named Ralph?
Yep.
I can't remember what our ducks' names were.
And his duck would fly up in the wintertime and land on his neighbor's house, and he'd have to go get it and put it in the duck pen, and then he'd look over and, like, he'd see it up on the roof of some neighbor's house, and he'd be like, oh, well, I guess that duck's spending the night up on that roof.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this level's kind of tricky.
Is it, Dan?
Yeah.
Dan, contrary to popular belief, I did not go to the bathroom in between episodes.
Whoa, I kind of thought that you did.
Yeah.
Because it started to stink a little bit.
Yeah, but in fact, I just crapped myself, so
yeah,
we're all good.
Some people equate going to the bathroom with actually getting up and going someplace where there's a toilet. But not Pete. When he says going to the bathroom, it could mean I'm going to go to a toilet, or I'm just going to crap my pants.
I'm just going to let it all loose.
Yeah.
Like a long-necked goose. Yeah, I think you got it.
No, I didn't. What the? Who's shooting at me?
Dan, don't you wish you put infinite bullets on?
No.
Why? Because you want to beat this legitimate?
Yeah.
Really? I think legitimate was in your vocabulary.
Well, that's why I let you say it and not me.
Oh, okay.
I know what it means, I just can't pronounce it.
I hear you.
Oh crap, I'm out of bullets.
There's a lot of words I can't pronounce either, Dan, like mystery. Or mysterious.
Oh shit. I just killed that guy with a freaking chainsaw. Conserve ammo. This is like the worst I've ever done in this game. Like I have 2 shells and 5 bullets at this point. I don't think I've ever...
Well, Dan, you're a survivor. You survive off of what you do or whatever. I don't know.
Oh crap! That was a bad time to switch guns.
But you did it, Dan. You did it anyways. Dan, why don't we explain to the people why you're a 3-coner? Maybe because... Let's explain what it is, and then why you are it, and then all that. Let's go through that, huh?
Alright. When I was in elementary school, I was in gym class. And
gym.
Yeah, and we were playing this game where you had to... It was kind of like kickball, but you had to kick a ball, and there were 3 cones lined up on the right side of the gym. Like if you were standing at home plate, on the back right side of the gym were 3 cones, and if you could kick the ball and then run around 1, 2, or 3 cones. And if you ran around 1 cone, you get 1 point, 2 cones, you get 2 points, and 3 cones, you get 3 points. So it was the end of class, and I was up to bat, or to the home plate, or whatever you call it. And my gym teacher was like, all right, Dan, you're tied. All you need to do is run around 1 cone, and you win the game. And he was like, all you need to do, 1 cone. You kick the ball, you run past 1 cone, you come back, score, win the game. And so I was like, yeah, 1 cone, all right. And then so as the moment he stopped talking, I'm thinking, wouldn't it be really cool if I ran around all 3 cones and like I did? It would be like a superhuman feat. Like most people would only be able to handle 1 cone, but me, I'm running around all 3 cones. So I kick the ball, and then I start running, and I go around, and I start running for the 3rd cone, and like the 3rd cone is like right in my line of sight, and I round the cone, and I'm heading back, and then one of the people on the opposite team catches the ball and throws it back to home and gets me out, and then time runs out and gym class is over, and then everybody's like furious with me because I didn't run around 3. I ran around 3 cones instead of 1, and like the whole class is mad at me. My gym teacher, Mr. McGinnis, is like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" And everybody was pissed off at me, and I was like, and somehow like that story I feel like is symbolic of my entire life. Like I always bite off more than I can chew, and.
Yeah.
And I was telling that to my boss the other day, and he was like, "You know what? I'm calling you 3 cone from now on." Mm-hmm. And like recently, I was submitting this cartoon. Like we do this film animation festival thing called Forgot to Laugh every once in a while. And so I'm an animator, and the guy for KR47.com, might as well plug it while we're talking about it.
KR47.com.
And so he asked me to make an animation for it. And so I was like, all right, can I do like a longer animation this time? Because because like a lot of our cartoons that we've been submitting were really short. And so I wanted to do a longer, like 8-minute longer story. And so he's like, yeah, sure, we can do that. And maybe that wasn't the best choice because like time was limited and I was so busy doing things with school and I didn't have a whole lot of time. And where'd that guy go?
Died.
Oh, and anyway, and so eventually the guy who ran the thing was like, can I be in the cartoon? Like he wanted me to put him in it, and he wanted me to put some of his performers in it, and I'm like, yeah, no problem. Even though time was running out, like he kept making these requests, and I was like, yeah, sure, no problem, and I kept doing it, all this stuff, and then eventually I finished the cartoon, and it was just in the nick of time. Like I didn't have any time to spare, and it was just like the cartoon was just so much. It was like so. The quality of it was horrible. Like it wasn't as good as I wanted it to be. All because I like bit off more than I can chew. And we went to the Forgot to Laugh Film Festival, and it was just such a disappointment. And it's like I kept thinking about that 3 cone story where like I just keep biting off more than I can chew and like fucking things up because I never have a realistic idea of what I can accomplish in the time frame that I have allotted for it, and it was just like I feel like miserable about it.
But the cartoon's actually quite good, and like there were a few little flaws, but it was still very good, Dan. I mean, and then not to mention Dan's computer shit the bed as he was about to submit it, so he had to redraw like 30% of it, and me and Rob were trying to help him like decide which scenes could go and shit, because Dan was like, no, I'm just gonna reanimate the whole thing, and we were like, no, don't fucking reanimate the whole thing.
No, well, yeah, I almost 3-coned it again because I was like, there were so many parts that I wanted to put in it. Like there was this scene where Rob, the cartoon was about zombies and zombie apocalypse, and so there was a scene where Rob had a shotgun. Because we like in our series we put ourselves in it as the main characters just because it was originally based on conversations that me and Rob actually had, and so there was a scene originally where Rob was shooting up zombies with a shotgun, and it was really funny, and I wanted to recreate that, but there was so little time, and I was at Pete's house, and Rob and Pete were like, you know what, you gotta cut that out, and like you have to just focus on what is vital for the cartoon, and that's it. And so eventually I cut that scene, and the movie was just like a shell of what it was, because I'd finished it the day before it was due, and then my computer crashed, and then I was like, it's such a long story.
Yeah, well, we still have 7 minutes, Dan.
Well, I gotta kill this guy because he's really hard. This is an arch vile, and he's really tough, but I'll try and kill him, and then I'll tell the rest of the story. But
just kill him. He's lighting you on fire. That's not even funny, Dan.
Alright, he's dead. Alright, anyway, so I finished the cartoon. it crashed, and then so my friend Brian, I was having power supply problems with my computer, and so when I turned off my computer, I'd try to turn it back on, but it wouldn't turn on. And sometimes it would turn on if I jiggled the keyboard cord, and it would just turn on. But that wasn't working, and like I tried that a couple times, and it just wouldn't work. But then like 3 hours after I tried that, it would just turn on by itself. And I was like, time was running out. Like I just finished the cartoon, and I needed to submit this cartoon, and I didn't have time to wait like 3 hours to do it. So I went downstairs and I asked Brian if he could take a look at it, because my friend Brian, who I live with, he's good with computers. And I feel like I'm telling this story horribly. But anyway, Brian was saying that he just turned off the power because he was doing something, and that's why my computer just shut off, like right after I finished doing it. And then so Brian was like trying to mess around with it and trying to get it started, and he couldn't. So he was like, okay, we can get these files off of this drive by hooking the drive up to his computer. But I guess my D drive is like, it's kind of strange. It's not like a typical D drive or something, because my father custom built it. And so he was trying to hook it up to his computer, and so he hooks it up, and then all of a sudden it starts smoking, and like we smell this burning smell, like something shorted out, and we just couldn't, like the drive shorted out somehow, we just couldn't access it. So I went on this whole quest to get a new power supply so we could see if my original driver could access the drive, and nothing was working. And at that point I was like putting all my money on Brian. I was like doubling down on Brian because I was hoping that he could do it and I could just get the file off. But eventually that just wasn't working, and I had to go back, and I was like, half the day had been half the day was over, and I needed to get the cartoon, I had to submit the cartoon by the end of that day. And so I was like, oh shit, and I had already like expended all this energy trying to get the drive fixed, and I couldn't do that. So I went over to Pete's house, and it was like the only option I have left is to just animate like a madman. And so that's when Pete and Rob came in, and they was like, just animate what you have to animate. Like, just make sure the story makes sense, and just don't include anything else. So I kind of had to recreate the cartoon, like 25% of the cartoon from scratch, and man, like I was animating like a motherfucker, and then after that, like the guy who ran the show was like calling up every hour, and he's like, oh, is the cartoon coming? I don't have all night. I can't just like, and I was just going like crazy. Like I was just so upset because I was trying to make the cartoon look good, and it just didn't look good. And then after a while, like he was calling, and I was like, you know what, Pete, you gotta talk to him. I just can't talk to this guy anymore.
Yeah, I did.
And I was like, and then we were trying to render the video so we could give it to him, and then like we were having trouble with the video, and it was just coming out and looking horrible, and like the video was all pixelated and blurry, and it was just, I was like losing my mind. Like I was just feeling so stressed out. But finally we got him a copy of it, and it just wasn't what I wanted it to be. So eventually I'm gonna just fix the cartoon up and put it up online somewhere so you guys can see it. But the whole ordeal was just a disaster.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
But anyway, that's kind of like why my nickname is 3-Coned.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the longest story I've ever heard about
a nickname.
A nickname, but that's alright. Because you're 3-Cone, Dan.
Yep.
You're 3-Cone.
Yep.
And there's nothing anyone can do about it to make you not 3-Cone.
That's right.
Just like in this game, Dan, you've totally bitten off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
Like, you can't chew up these guys, but you bit them anyways.
Yeah, I'm biting them, fighting them with my teeth.
Yeah.
I'm running out of bullets. Like, this is just
see,
sad.
Dan, you shot off more than you had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? You 3-Cone this game, Dan.
Did I kill that guy? I hope so.
All I know is that That story was pretty good.
It's kind of hard to fight monsters and then try to tell like a decent, coherent story.
Well, Dan, try to not fight monsters and tell a decent, coherent story. And then welcome to my world, Dan.
Oh, shit.
And then welcome to my world, where I can't tell a decent, coherent story to save my life.
I hate these monsters. Like, these are my worst enemies in this game. Ugh. Does it at least feel like I'm kind of doing a good job playing this game?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm getting chewed up.
I haven't played this game in like 2 years, Dan. Since like the time I beat it the 6th time. You know what I mean? It's been that long. It has been that long, Dan.
I need ammunition somehow.
Man, this game is far longer than I ever thought it would be. Are we there yet? There you go. You got backpack.
Yeah.
You know what backpack equal? You're going to school, Dan.
I'm guessing there's a lunchbox in there somewhere.
Yeah, there better be. You better not guess. There better be a damn lunchbox.
No! Oh man, I suck.
You know what, Dan? I didn't want to hurt your feelings and tell you did,
But yeah, I know.
I got you.
I fall into acid. That's what I do.
Yeah, you can get the scientist uniform and not be afraid of that, even though it doesn't last the whole time, but you think it's stupid. You have the friggin' uniform on. What is it? Start melting in your hands and not in your mouth. You get it?
Yeah, like M&M's.
Yeah.
Bam! I was pooping again.
Wow.
Oh man, I don't have. Oh shit! I suck. Look at this. It's pathetic.
Well, Dan, no one said you were the best Doom player.
I was trying to at least not humiliate myself.
Well, you're not, Dan. I mean, you're gonna beat the game, right?
About that.
About that. Yeah.
Alright, I'm getting this thing.
I think this is a great time to stop, Dan.
Alright.
Anyways, in the next episode, we'll continue. Yeah.
18 shells in one rocket.
You'll do fine. This has been Kenshin1913.
And bang!
See you later.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.